Hello everyone! I've been thinking for a while about where to begin the story of Ukraine. So I decided to start from the very beginning, from ancient times. The Paleolithic, or the ancient Stone Age, 1.5 million years ago, 10,000 years ago, is a period when humans separated themselves from the animal world. The Paleolithic is divided into the early, middle, and later stages. During this period, the most basic labor skills emerged. People began crafting tools, making clothing, building shelters, and learned to use and later produce fire. The foundation of social organization were formed. It was during this time that the first forms of art emerged. Early, Lower Paleolithic, 1.5 million 300,000 years ago. The earliest archaeological site in Ukraine belongs to the early Paleolithic core level. It is one of the few oldest multiplayer Paleolithic settlements in Eurasia. The tools found here are mainly made of andesite, less frequently of quartzite, chalk, and obsidian. Middle Paleolithic, 300 to 150,000 years ago. Kyivkoba is an archaeological culture of the Middle Paleolithic era. The sites are located in caves in the eastern part of the Crimean Mountains. Late Upper Paleolithic, 35 to 10,000 years ago. Misen is one of the most notable late Paleolithic sites in Europe. Tools were crafted from mammoth bones, and tasks including needle spearheads, hammers, and more. Artifacts of art included stylized female figurines with geometric engravings, bracelets, and other items. Scientist Libibico suggested that five mammoth bones with paintings were used as percussion instruments. Mesolithic is a site where four residential structures made of animal bones were discovered. Korolivska site is a late Paleolithic monument located on the right bank of the Dnieper River. Stone tools, flint knives, and scrapers were found here with the most valuable items for the spiritual culture of the time being mammoth tusks adorned with scarred ornamentation. Mesolithic, the Middle Stone Age, 11 to 6 millennia BCE. The end of the Ice Age led to another climate change influencing the economic life of people. The domestication of wild animals begins and tools are refined. There is a shift in the form of social organization with families becoming more isolated from the community. Prominent sites from this period include Morzak-Koba and Fatma-Koba. Neolithic, the New Stone Age, 7 to 4 millennia BCE. During this period, people began practicing agriculture and animal husbandry, adopting a settled way of life. They learned to work with clay, studied spinning and weaving fabric. The development of religion continued, and life expectancy increased. One of the Neolithic cultural sites is Kam'yana Mohyla. Unfortunately, it is currently occupied by Russian military forces. Eneolithic, the Copperstone Age, 4 to 3 millennia BCE. Discoveries of copper improved tools and facilitated the development of metalworking. Trade and exchange began leading to societal stratification. During this period, the horse was domesticated. On the territory of Ukraine, the Trupilia culture flourished during this time. The name is derived from the village of Trupilia, where the first site of this culture was discovered. The Tropicalian culture was also widespread in Moldova and Romania. Tropicans lived in large settlements with 15 to 20,000 inhabitants, sometimes constructing two-story dwellings. They were farmers, crafting tools from flint, stone, bone, and horns, and utilizing copper. Europeans are known for their painted pottery small figurines of people and animals, as well as ceramic models of buildings, sledges, thrones, axes, and vessels. Bronze Age, 3 millennium to 12th century BCE. Bronze is artificial alloy of copper with tin or lead. It became prevalent in the territory of Ukraine at the beginning of the second millennium BCE. During this period, animal husbandry definitively separated from agriculture. Trade and military craftsmanship developed. Warfare became prominent and societal differentiation based and wealth emerged. Instead, tribes the role of nomadic pastoralism intensified, leading to the formation of tribal alliances. Iron Age, 12th century BCE to 4th century CE. The first iron tools were crafted from meteorite remains. The earliest findings of iron artifacts in the territory of Ukraine date back to the 11th to 19th centuries BCE. Since iron weapons and equipment were significantly superior to those made of copper or bronze, warfare became a specialized craft. Large-scale migrations of people began. Herodotus and Homer mention the first ethnic group in the territory of Ukraine, the Cimmerians. The Cimmerians were nomadic, headless, and skilled horsemen. They were the first to master iron production from bog iron ore in Ukrainian lands. Under the pressure of the Scythians, some Cimmerians migrate to the Near East, while others assimilate. Scythians were nomadic Iranian-speaking tribes. Herodotus dedicated one of the 9 books of his histories to the Scythians. They were the first people to establish a state in the territory of modern Ukraine, the Great Scythia. It's comprised four groups of tribes: Scythian farmers, Scythian plowmen, nomadic Scythians, and royal Scythians. The most prominent of the Scythian kings was Attis. The Scythians maintained trade relations with Greek city-states in the northern Black Sea region. Livestock, grain, honey, wax, fish, and hides were exported from Scythia. In art, the animal style prevailed. In 530 BCE, they won a war against the Persian king Darius. The Scythians had a complex belief system about the afterlife, leading to elaborate burial rituals. You might be familiar with the famous Scythian gold pectoral from the Tosta Mohyla kurgan. Discoveries suggest that the Scythians were skilled duelists. In the 3rd century BCE, they were displaced to Dnieper lowland and the Crimean Peninsula by the Sarmatians. There they created the Little Scythia, which existed until the beginning of our era. Sarmatians were predominantly nomadic tribes engaged in herding, raiding, and slave trading. In Sarmatian art, the animal style predominated, often simpler than that of the Scythians, but with a significant use of stones in ornamentation, particularly turquoise and red stones. Women held a high states in the Sarmatian society. Sarmatian women were warriors on par with men. In the burial mounds of deceased women, even young girls, weapons were placed alongside jewelry. In the 3rd century CE, the Sarmatians suffered a defeat at the hands of the Germanic tribes of the Goths, who came from the Baltic region. Due to a series of socio-economic problems, in the 7th–6th centuries BCE, the Greeks began to migrate to the coasts of the Black and Azov Seas. This process is known as the Great Greek Colonization. The most famous and significant cities included Olbia, Tyre, Chersonesos, Pantikapaum, and Theodosia. Persian influence led to the establishment of the monarchy, the Bosporan Kingdom, uniting Phanagoria, Pantikapaum, and some other city-states. From the second half of the 7th century to the middle of the 1st century BCE, this territory developed close ties with Greece, closely imitating its socio-political structure. Urbanization, trade development, coin minting, and low military activity were characteristic of this period. From the mid-1st century BCE onwards, the city-states and the Bosporan Kingdom lost their independence due to increased military activity in the region. Asian culture brought to the northern Black Sea region Asian architecture, art, education, advanced sciences, including medicine, viticulture, and winemaking. Great migration of peoples. The Gothic settled in the Black Sea region, migrating from the Baltic. In 375 CE, they were conquered and displaced by the Huns, and only a part assimilated in Crimea. Archaeological data indicate that in the 6th–7th centuries, Crimea Gothic women wore costumes that included precious fibula, earrings, bracelets, and astonishingly beautiful massive buckles depicting the head of an eagle. The Huns established a powerful military state from the Carpathians to the Don, led by the renowned Attila. After his death in 451 CE, this entity rapidly lost influence, allowing the Slavs to develop freely. The early Slavs sought to expand their influence over a vast territory by the 7th century, seizing the Balkans and keeping Byzantium in fear. Military successes and gradual migration led to development of three well-known branches of the Slavs: Western, Eastern, and Southern. Each was the Eastern tribes: the Drevlians, Tiverians, Puliches, Volhynians, Croats, Siverians, and Polyaниans that became the ancestors of Ukrainians. Eastern Slavs were predominantly farmers with a prototype of private ownership of arable land within families responsible for cultivation. Families united into neighboring territorial communities. The feudal estate emerged due to significant economic stratification of the population. Craftsmanship separated from agriculture and diversified into ironworking, pottery, jewelry, etc. Blacksmithing became an independent profession. Trade expanded on an international scale. I will discuss the further development of the Slavs in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more interesting content.